Dear Dina, I'm an 11-year-old girl. My 16-year-old sister has severe depression and an eating disorder. She's been to the hospital twice because of it, and now she has to go to a center every day to get her to eat more. Even though people are helping her, I don't think she's getting better. It makes me feel worried and sad. My mom has me seeing a therapist, and she helps me to feel better, but it's still hard knowing my sister is having such a hard time. I've never dealt with anything this hard in my life. I wish I could not have to always think about how sad I am. I really want everything to be normal. Can you tell me ways not to get so upset about everything that's going on? Signed, having a hard time in Germantown.
And eating disorders are something that, if not treated, can be very serious. So it's good that your sister's getting treated. So you can rest assured that your sister has this treatment, and that there are so many effective ways to deal with this. Back in the 80s, when this was really prevalent, sadly, I fell victim to it. And the therapists back then didn't really know what it was. They didn't know how to deal with it. It has a lot to do with control and feeling like you're out of control. And food is the one thing you can control because it goes in your body and you're responsible for it. So the fact that your sister is now feeling like she's in control because she has this therapy is good. So what you need to focus on is the fact that the treatment is going to work. Sometimes it takes a little while, and she is being seen, and so you focus on the good things. The fact that you're in therapy is amazing. One thing I would recommend is that you surround yourself with things that keep your mind off of it, because you cannot control what your sister does. You can only control what you're doing. So surround yourself with people to support you, and don't hide it. It doesn't need to be associated with shame. It was for so many years, but you don't need to hide that you're feeling sad. And the fact that you're writing into Dear Dina, we think is great, because we are here for you. When you listen to the morning show, hopefully it makes you happy and glad, and focus on those things. In addition to your therapy, maybe you can involve yourself with different sports activities, different hobbies. Those things will get your mind off of it.
Yeah. The most important thing is her life is not your life. And I hope your parents it's very difficult when something happens to one child to continue to not push the other children aside because you're focused on one. And we had this situation in our household, and where, something was going on with one child, you really have to kind of overcompensate for the other, because it can be very difficult, and you don't want those other children to feel the pressure of what's happening. So I'm hoping that your parents are doing it, but if they're not, or they're really focused on your sister, which I can totally understand, you need to realize that your happiness does not negate what's going on. You don't feel guilty if you want to go out and have fun, be with your friends, play sports, get involved in school activities. You have every right to do that, and doesn't mean you don't care about your sister, and it doesn't mean you don't love her any less, but your life is not her life. And so be there in a support for her. Tell her you understand and that you always love her. But you need to you're 11.
Yeah.
You be an 11-year-old.
Sure.
You don't need the stress or the pressure of what's going on with your sister.
And you can tell him that text line is open 24/7 if we don't respond immediately. It's just because we haven't checked it right away, but you can always text us, 301-620-1031. Dear Dina, we're here for one another. That's what this is about. And you can ask your question completely anonymously under the Features tab, key103radio.com.